What's going on, guys? Brennan Mejia here, the Red Ranger from Power Rangers Dino Charge. Although my season ended in 2016, I got to return to Power Rangers Beast Morphers a few years later. In this video, we're going to break down my return to Power Rangers. We're going to talk about some of the behind the scenes and how this crossover episode even happened. So a quick little summary of what's going on in Power Rangers at this point. There's at least three different Power Ranger dimensions. You know, we got the whole multiverse from Marvel now happening in Power Rangers. The Dino Charge universe is separate from the Mighty Morphin universe. This season, Power Rangers Beast Morphers takes place in the Mighty Morphin universe. So there's going to be a little bit of crossover action between my universe and their universe. So we have different monsters we fight, different things going on, but let's jump into the episode. So the villains in Beast Morphers just resurrected Snide, which is one of the villains in Power Rangers Dino Charge. So obviously something's happening now where they're setting up the crossover to happen with the villains from both seasons, and then obviously the heroes from both seasons.
And who are you?
We're your new best friends.
Interesting.
Interesting. There's the Yellow Ranger in Beast Morphers.
Stay out of sight.
We don't have a Yellow Ranger in Dino Charge, just Gold. Fun fact, so Jackie, the Yellow Ranger, she went to a training with Mike Chat, which I believe was the Lightspeed Rescue Blue Ranger, and he has this whole super awesome training program for people who want to get into the industry and learn how to do stunt fighting and all of that. And when they were casting Beast Morphers, they actually recommended the hopeful Rangers, the actors, go work with Mike Chat to work on their fight sequences to show them, because we had to do some fight stuff in our auditions for Power Rangers. So I went and joined her and Mike Chat for one of his trainings, and I actually have footage of her and I fighting each other when she got cast in Beast Morphers, just like sparring each other at Mike Chat's gyms. The intruder she's talking about is Keeper. He's one of the mentors from Dino Charge. He's our Yoda meets E.T. Wombo combo. And she doesn't know he's a good guy, because why would she? She's never seen him before. Let's see what happens.
A compliance collar.
With a shiny new compliance collar.
Collar?
That's whatever I ask.
Whatever I
Get
ask.
out and give me 20. Yes, sir.
Nice.
I'm struggling.
So the Beast Morpher Yellow Ranger, Zoe, or Jackie in real life, finds Keeper. Finders Keepers. That's actually the name of this episode. Go figure. Anyway, she finds Keeper and throws a compliance collar on him, which makes him listen to verbal commands, not knowing he's actually a good guy.
Zoe. What happened?
The ship self-destructed.
So she's now joined by the Beast Morphers Red and Blue Ranger. So in their season, they have Red, Blue, and Yellow as their core team.
That's the intruder the commander warned us about. Dressed up with the compliance collar. Come here.
Keeper, no!
Wait, I think I recognize him. Me too, from Ranger History Class.
So Beast Morphers, they're from like an academy, I believe, where they study other Power Rangers. Even though Dino Charge is from a different universe, in some way they're basically saying that they have knowledge that we exist. So they're aware of other Power Ranger universes, and they know Keeper isn't a bad guy. I guess Zoe was slacking that day in class, who knows?
Are you Keeper?
That is correct. I came to retrieve the relics that Ryjack stole.
Keeper's on our side. And you collared him?
I didn't see his face. I thought he was trying to steal Ryjack's weapons.
Let's get him back to the lab so I can remove the collar.
I'll put him in the truck. You guys can get that many valuable weapons here.
Okay.
So basically the Beast Morpher team right now is trying to recover a bunch of dangerous weapons from one of their villains' ships that exploded and crashed. And they don't realize that that reanimator thing that brought Snide back to life has already been stolen. But there's other villain weapons that you may or may not recognize in the wreckage.
This way.
This belongs to Lord Zed.
That belonged to Lord Zed,
The Emperor of Evil.
the Emperor of Evil.
All this stuff must have come from some pretty nasty folk. We better get it off. Oh, great blaster.
That blaster is from Sledge, who is the main villain of Power Rangers Dino Charge. I don't remember who the sword was from. I'm sorry. I know other people would know that immediately, but I don't. But feel free to comment in the comments below who it was, because I'm curious now.
Safe your keeper.
Thank you.
So that's one of the henchmen. So you know you have the putties and Mighty Morphin. In my season, our henchmen are called Vivix, which is that creature driving the truck now. See, I like their opening song. It's just so short. I wish there was a full version of it. Yeah. I miss these guys. Together we rise. Rangers beat Morphers. So fancy.
Thank you.
Little recap in case you walked away.
No way! Thanks, deal. You can get Ryjack's collection back to base. Got it. We'll go after it. Ready? Let's morph.
I'm jealous of how simple their morph is. My morph in Dino Charge, I don't know if it still holds the record for being the longest morph. Cosmic Fury might have been longer. I'd have to time them and rewatch them, but that's so not confusing. Ours is like, it's morphin' time, Dino Charger, ready! And then we click it, and then we spin in a circle, then we have to open our blaster, and then put the Dino Charger in, spin it up, energize, ha! Unleash the power! Like, it's this whole choreographed thing, and theirs is like, activate beast powers! Like, okay, theirs makes more sense for a bad guy to wait for because it happens so fast. Mine's like the bad guy's opening a bag of chips, reading a book, watching a movie, and then we morph.
Warm up those engines. You can't lose Keeper.
So the Beast Morpher Rangers are trying to get Keeper back from the Vivix, and that's where the Dino Charge team, aka I, come in.
Stop that truck!
If you just looked at that sign they just passed, it was in Japanese. Super Sentai is the Japanese source material for Power Rangers, and then they will adapt it for American audiences and worldwide. But then they'll splice it with the Japanese footage, but then they'll film new scenes as well. But sometimes when they morph, if you pay attention, you'll see the buildings change, you'll see the area around them change. It's because they're using the Japanese footage. In Dino Charge, this was really apparent because the Gold Ranger's suit in the Japanese Sentai was a shimmery, shiny kind of gold. And for whatever reason in Dino Charge, the suit they made when they filmed new footage in New Zealand was more of like a tan colored gold. So you can actually visually see a difference when it's our Gold Ranger doing new scenes versus using the Sentai footage. That scene where you just saw filming where all of them jump over it, you've probably seen it a ton throughout Power Rangers, the Mighty Morphin, they do those flips over. It's typically a camera under, like looking up, and then there's a mini tramp or a trampoline that they jump off of onto a crash pad and they do flips and then land, and it's just for that entrance, but it looks really cool. So it's just like one of the things that Power Rangers continues to use because it continues to work. It still looks cool. I don't know if they invented that idea back in the day or what, but they definitely perfected it if nothing else. Ooh, so if you're paying attention, you could hear our theme song or a version of it as that portal opened. I wonder what that means.
Guys, it's a dimensional portal!
Ooh. Yay! So now the Dino Charge team has joined the fray, but if you notice what I said, the Gold Ranger suit looks a little tan, which means this is original footage now, not Sentai footage.
The Dino Charge Rangers! No way! Where's Keeper? We lost contact after he found Ryjack's ship. Over there, in the truck.
Okay, let's get into safety. All right. Got it. We're surrounded. Then it's about to get wild.
That's my character's catchphrase. It's about to get wild! Always love to say it. I know a lot of people wonder, is it really the actors in the suits? So, not really, since maybe Mighty Morphin or some of the earlier seasons. It's pretty much always a stunt double in the suit. And a lot of that is to save time as well as safety. So if the actor gets hurt in a way that they can no longer film, that can put a lot of people out of jobs for a long time. So they tend to have our stunt doubles do things. Sometimes they'll let us do some action when we're not morphed. So we call them civilian fights when we're just in our normal civilian clothing. And depending on the skill of that individual actor, their willingness, the time allowed and permitted and how safe it is, we can sometimes do those fights. But this is always stunt teams. Just, again, it's time. They get to train together multiple times a week. They perfect these fight scenes. So it's not that some of us don't know stunt fighting too, but again, to save time and to be safe, it's just more efficient to let the stunt team do it. But that's not me in the suit right now, but the voice you're hearing is 100% me. So that's what that ADR, the audio dialogue recording, comes into play, where basically they'll show us a clip of the show. A lot of it took place back in America for ADR sessions. So you would go in and they would showcase that episode and they would go beep, beep, beep. And then after that third beep, the scene starts for us to say our lines. So then, you know, it's about to get wild. And as you can see, there's four different types of bad guys. I think we got the Viveks, we got the Putties, I don't know the henchmen of Beast Morphers, and I think we get the Dino Thunder bad guys as well, if I'm not mistaken, which probably means there's gonna be more teams to cross over. And if you notice in the stunt fights, or maybe you haven't noticed, a lot of making a stunt fight look good is the camera work, because it goes from like a wide where you see the Yellow Ranger surrounded by like 5 Viveks, and then why aren't they all attacking her at once when she's facing this person? You know, they're like just dancing around waiting for their turn in a sense, but then it will go to a close-up of her fighting one-on-one, so it makes it feel like she's always in danger of being attacked by everyone, but also everyone's moving around constantly, so it doesn't look like, now it's my turn to attack her. Now it's my turn to attack her. So in stunts, sometimes they say you got to do something to keep egg off your face, because if egg's on your face, that basically means you're waiting for your turn to attack, which looks bad on camera.
You're coming with us, you old wizard.
As you wish.
Move it, come on. Heads up! They've got Keeper! No! Stop!
Oh, we're too late. He's gone.
How we get him back?
We come bearing gifts.
Took you long enough.
This area would be their second unit, I'm assuming, where it's like the bad guy's main base. So if they have a couple human actors like they do for their 2 villains right there, they probably don't get to interact a lot of scenes with the core cast because they're surrounded by the stunt team in the suits instead. So they probably have different call times, different wrap times, which is when they finish. But yeah, just to give you some behind the scenes. And then obviously this is on a studio, so typically they'll film the camera facing one direction, but if you turn the camera around, you would see like just this giant open space where they move different props in and out to make it look like different areas.
It's the wise keeper.
That color makes the best tame as a pussycat.
He must have lots of knowledge about the Rangers.
Knowledge we can use to defeat them. Not defeat, destroy them. Exactly. Now, tell me all your Ranger secrets.
Very well. It began with the ancient power of the Energems.
Whoever designed the compliance collar, it doesn't really make sense to me, because shouldn't it just be voice recognition to the one who put the collar on, not to literally anyone? Because what are they like, tell him, and then we're over there, don't tell him. Like, who does he listen to? You know, the person who made it or the person who said it? Because he was listening to the Yellow Beast Morpher Ranger. They just took him away.
I must say, these weapons are formidable.
We collected everything we could find. So, why was Keeper after them?
So there's a couple of different weapons in there from Dino Charge. I believe that's Wrench. Wrench's axe, he's one of our villains. And then I believe that's Fury's lightning black sword. I can't see the other one. And then I mentioned that blaster is Sledge's blaster. And then there's me. So yeah, let's watch the Red Ranger because he's the coolest one.
Make sure they weren't used for evil.
And you put the compliance collar on them. Why did you do that?
And I told you to stay back from the ship, but you didn't, causing the explosion.
She was just trying to help.
No, they're right.
So the Gold Ranger and the Yellow Ranger have a thing for each other, which is why he's defending her. But yeah, she messed up.
I should have waited like you said. It's my fault. I'm really sorry about Keeper. But I'm gonna bring him back. I promise.
We will bring them back.
Because our teamwork is unbeatable.
Spoken like true Rangers. We work together. Crush monsters.
I believe Yoshi's wearing a wig, or at least extensions, because I think his hair is shorter. My hair is obviously longer. I have to keep cutting my hair for different stunt work. I love doing stunts because it all falls under performing, depending on how you look at it. But as the actor, you typically have more control over your hair. In stunts, if I'm doubling someone, I have to cut my hair to look like their hair often. Unless I'm doubling someone with long hair, then they'll put a wig on me too. But yeah, my short hair is continually because of stunt jobs recently, not because I want short hair.
He was victorious.
Well, now we know the Ranger's secrets. We can build something to defeat them. But I must have those energens. Then perhaps Snide is your man for the job. I could lure those Dino Freak Rangers into a trap with Keeper as bait. Should be fun.
Commander, we have an incoming message. Put it on the main monitor.
Who is it?
We're about to find out.
That's Evox.
That Snide is a fiend indeed.
You tell him, Davi.
You've missed me, Rangers, because I have something you want. Keeper is useless to me, so you can have your friend back if you give me Ryjack's collection of weapons.
I don't think we should.
It's a deal.
A wise decision. I'll send you the location to meet.
But Commander, the weapons.
Keeper knows too much. We need to rescue him.
Once we make that trade, we have to get those weapons back.
Yeah, but Keeper's our top priority.
I promise. We'll save Keeper.
Obviously not a big deal, but it's funny, like that scene you just saw where she put her hand on my shoulder. We did a couple takes where I was the one who put my hand on her shoulder. So it's just funny to see in editing which one they choose. So you tend to do, obviously, different performances. Some people do the same thing every take. Others, like, I try to mix it up if I have the freedom. It depends on how it's shot. So typically you shoot like a wide shot or a master first, which captures everyone talking, and then you do the close-ups on everyone. But depending on what's being filmed, you can sometimes have the opportunity to do a different take, or a different take of the take, you know? So like maybe one time you're like, why'd you do that? Another time you're like, why'd you do that? You know, you can change your performance. And so even subtle things like putting your hand on them or not, and then seeing which one ultimately gets in the cut, you don't have control over that. So sometimes if you don't like a movie, it's not necessarily that the acting is the issue or the writing. Sometimes it's the editing. Sometimes it is the acting. Sometimes it is the writing. Sometimes it's all three. If you notice the set where the villains were, you know, was probably second unit, like I mentioned. And then the sets where we were at their Ranger HQ base, it's at the studio. So typically a studio has multiple stages. So I don't remember the numbers for those particular, but let's say one was stage 1 and one was stage 2. You're at the same physical place, they just have different rooms, kind of giant rooms with different setups. So right now as the car is pulling in, this is still the studio. And actually the buildings in the background are where the writers would work to write the episodes, at least when I filmed Dino Charge. I imagine it's still the same place during Beast Morphers. Oh, and then also the TV that we're watching when we're talking about doing the deal with the bad guys to get Keeper back, we're just staring at like a blank wall or a screen. They haven't put any footage up there. Same thing like in Dino Charge, if you ever watch, where we have like this projection of this 3D model showing the world, and it's like alien biosigns are attacking Amber Beach. we're staring at like a tennis ball at the end of a stick, so we all have the same eye line. Or sometimes they'll hold like an X or something. Or when we're staring at a monster, obviously there's no giant monster for us to stare at. So we all have to find the right eye line. So I'm not looking here, and then Shelby's looking over there, and then Riley's looking over there. And although we're not actually staring at a screen, someone is off camera reading the lines for us, so we have something to react to. So right now the Ranger just rolled up in style, you know, we're about trying to get Keeper back in exchange for all the weapons. Hopefully it goes well, maybe it won't, who knows? I mean, this may even be a two-parter crossover, so let's find out what happens next.
We've got it.
This is everything.
I was gonna say, where am I? I forgot there's 2 cars.
Stay on your guard, guys.
I don't like this place.
So now this warehouse was actually a different location. This isn't at the studio anymore. So we walked in, cut, and then we would film at a different location. Typically, TV shows are not shot chronologically. I can't even remember if we shot this part first or the other part first. It depends on time and location and where everyone is. But yeah, so now we're at a physical different location as we walked through the door, got in the cars, drove somewhere. It may have been a separate day we filmed it even.
I think that's close enough. Put the relics down and back right off. Good boys. Shut the package. Wait until Eva sees this. Thank you, Rangers. You've made my day.
Now give us Keeper.
That was our deal.
Yeah, listen to the Red Rangers.
To be broken. Move aside, Keeper. You're not going anywhere.
I mean, we can't really feel bad because we literally discussed double-crossing them. They just double-crossed us first. As I mentioned before, when we are morphed, it's our stunt team in the suits, so we have to go do ADR. But whether it's us in this, or our stunt team in the suits, or stunt teams in the monster suits, they are saying their lines still. It's not someone off camera. It's typically the person in the suit saying their lines. It's just hard to hear them because they're muffled, but we can typically still make enough of what they're saying to do our next lines. I don't recall times where they ever had to read lines off camera for their mouths moving, because typically the person in the suit knows their lines so they can move and interact in a way that's more authentic versus someone reading for when they're supposed to react, if that makes sense.
Beg for mercy. Now's the time. Oh, this'll be a cinch.
Yeah, for us.
Morphin' time!
Activate beast mode.
They just did what's more known as a flash morph. I mean, this isn't fully a flash morph. A flash morph is kind of like where we just say a shorter version of it, like energize, and then we morph. So we still did Dino Charger ready, but they didn't do the whole dance thing. It just went to unleash the power, just to save time. So if you saw our full morph, it would be longer than what it just was. This whole fight that's about to take place, I believe, is original footage, not from the Sentai. And if you ever notice how we filmed the morphs, so at least in Dino Charge, I can't speak to what the Beast Morpher team did, but if you saw, we were wearing white for our morph, and then we were wearing black, and then we were wearing our suits. So we had to go stand on this thing called a Lazy Susan, which is like a circle that's elevated, and then someone rotates it by pushing it around, hiding from camera, so the camera could turn as we're morphing. And sometimes they use us turning, other times it's just straight on. We did that in the white suit, then we did it in that black suit, and then we did it again in our actual suit. So we did wear the suits. So when they went to our morph little sequence, that was already filmed from Dino Charge. We didn't re-film that for the crossover. And they did a better job about keeping our hair looking the same throughout the season. But if you go back to some of the older seasons like Mighty Morphin, where their hairstyle would change, they didn't re-record their morph.
It's about to get wild!
There's my catchphrase again.
You don't stand a chance, Snide.
Probably
that was a little throwback to Mighty Morphin. That's like the Go-Go Power Rangers. So obviously their theme song still says that in some version. But yeah, that was just fun. And once again, now that we're morphed, it's not us, it's our stunt team. So what happens, you do a freeze, unfreeze. So let's say like, I'm standing, I'm like, unleash the power! And then they'll be like, freeze! And then I have to hold this position while one stunt person runs over and frames my position where I'm standing, where my arm was, and they'll hold that. And then the person, as the Red Ranger, will come and stand in that exact position, and then I'll run off camera, and they'll be like, unfreeze! And then he'll pretend he just finished morphing. And then also, right now where the Red Ranger, Devin, is looking at his bracelet morph thing, whatever, I don't know, his communicator, there's no actual picture there. That's not FaceTime. He's not using an Apple Watch that has camera capabilities. It's just a blank screen, and then they put in video on it later.
Downtown, sector Bravo 36.
Roger that. Go. We've defeated Snide once, and we'll do it again. Great. Come on, team. Let's go.
Well, looks like my odds are already improving.
I wouldn't count on it, or maybe you forgot. Shelby, Riley, now!
What? No! More Rangers!
It's been a while, Snide.
Not long enough.
The primary reason our Pink and Green were not in any of the other episodes or scenes is because they weren't there. This is, again, now that they're morphed, it's a stunt team. Michael and Camille weren't available to come fly to New Zealand to film these 2 episodes because it's a lot of time. They were working on other stuff. So they still lent their voices via ADR. They just recorded them in America at a later time. But the scene right now is their stunt team portraying them. But yeah, so it's a fun way that they still could use the footage because, again, I mentioned this crossover is based off of the Sentai movie. So some of the footage is original, like this whole fight scene is original footage, but then there's going to be parts where they're using the Sentai. And to do that, they need Pink and Green because Pink and Green were present in the Sentai. So unless they cut them out of that part of the movie, it's easier if they just find a way to work them into the episode still.
Like, just stay nasty.
Now, I believe that particular fire explosion was just special effects, but there are often times in Power Rangers where they use actual fire and put charges in the ground and have them explode. We're in like a park and we're all in our civilian clothing and it's morphin' time, we morph. And that was the first time they told us about it. Like, okay, we planted charges in the floor or whatever they call them. Don't walk out of this protective circle or whatever. Don't walk into those danger because they marked the floor. And so they warned us. They're like, you're gonna feel heat. Just stick the pose because if we mess up, they have to redo it. But man, it was hot. Like you feel that fire hit you in the back or the warmth from it. So it's really cool though, or really hot. Really cool that it was hot, that we got to morph and actually feel that fire and that it was actual practical effects. I want to say this is now Japanese footage because his suit is now shiny. So play that game with me, shiny Davi Gold Ranger or not shiny Davi Gold Ranger, to know if it's Japanese footage or not. And those boxes they're hitting, more often than not, they're like padded or fake. They're not slamming people into really, really hard things as best they can. And a lot of the times the stunt team will wear pads under the clothes if they're allowed to. So I've done stunt jobs where my character is shirtless. Obviously can't put a pad on under my shirt then, but anytime you have the ability with like long sleeves, you typically put on elbow pads, sometimes hip guards, sometimes you'll even put a back pad on if you're doing like a stair fall, knee pads. Obviously Power Rangers has helmets, which is nice because then their head is pretty protected, which is very important. But yeah, so when you watch shows, just sometimes depending on how tight fitting the clothes is, you can see the pads kind of protruding from that to protect them. So when they do things that defy gravity, like supercharged kick, where he's doing multiple kicks traveling sideways, he's on wires. So they attach them to wires. They'll bring in like a mini crane and they'll have people working it, or they can have people on like a pulley sometimes depending on the setup. But Power Rangers is super skilled at using wire work really well and really quickly. They're just so efficient at it because there's been so many seasons of Power Rangers. And even though the season storyline changes, the actors change, the stunt teams remain largely unchanged unless people want to retire or go on to new stuff. But the same people in charge, like, they just have so much experience. They're very efficient at utilizing the time well. So it's always amazing to see how seamlessly they use things with wires and back to normal fighting, or a quick edit, take it off real quick, and you don't even know. So that again would be wire work with him flying in. I almost wanted to say it was a mini tramp that he jumped off of first, but perhaps he just jumped and they pulled the weight for him to glide. I can't really tell. It was too smooth.
Let's do this together! Dino Victory Charger! Ready!
So if I recall, we have the Victory Charger, and then we had another charger. So the chargers get their power from our Energems. Our Energems are like our power coins. And then Miss Morgan, our Purple Ranger, who isn't actually in this crossover, she created the Dino Chargers to draw power from our Energems, but then they have different abilities. So this Victory Charger requires 5 core Rangers to power it, but then I thought we had like the Super Victory Charger or something that requires all 10 Rangers. Can't remember the names, there's too many.
T-Rex Supercharge!
So that call out, like I mentioned earlier, when we did ADR, we all recorded that line separately because you heard all of our voices kind of mixed together. I don't remember who did that line first. It depends on the schedule for the ADR. But let's say Michael did that line first, then we all had to match his tone essentially. If I did it first, then they had to match my tone. I always really enjoyed doing them first because I was, still am a huge fan of anime, and I just grew up and still watch, like the screams and the yells and the Dragon Ball Z and all the energy. And I hope that came across in my character. Depending on the person who led it, Yoshi and I always wanted to be one of us because we both knew we would put in the proper energy because we both grew up watching anime.
Give up, Snide!
You Rangers are about to pay for everything! This guy is pathetic!
Yeah, he's in way over his head. But we can fix that with a little more muscle.
Oh, the pink thing is Poisandra's weapon. Okay, I couldn't see it quite fully in that last scene. So another bad guy from our season in Dino Charge. Fun fact though, in the Japanese version, Kyoryuger, the pink bad guy, Poisandra, is like this heart-shaped monster. She ends up like falling in love with the Blue Ranger, who is our Coda. But in the Sentai, he's not a caveman, but they have like an attraction to each other. But in this, she is engaged to Sledge, our main villain.
Maybe an old acquaintance will help Snide turn the tables. Get ready to meet Sledge!
So, it's a bomb! That line is a throwback to the finale in Dino Supercharge. So we time travel, again spoiler, back into the past to stop him. And, because basically he destroyed, well, he didn't do it, we did it. We created a black hole in accident and destroyed the Earth. Whoops, good guys do bad things sometimes, in accident. So we figured out we could time travel with the Energems, and we go back in time to defeat him and then bring back the Earth or something like that. Anyway, I trick him by he thinks I'm giving him the Energems, or he steals them in this case, but I put one of his bombs in it instead. So when he opens it, he goes, "It's a bomb!" and then he blows up. So that's literally the last thing he said before he died. And then now he just got resurrected. So he's like, "It's a bomb!" again. So that made me very happy that the writers connected that, because that's such an easy thing to skip over. So Pink Ranger just did a front flip. I believe there's a trampoline behind that. I don't think she just truly flipped over that.
Sledge? Guess who's back?
But we destroy you! Third time's the charm!
So now we're back to original footage. See, isn't it shiny? You with me? You see it, right?
Did you leave
my hubby alone?
Oh, they're not engaged. They got married. I forgot. Okay. So Fury is the bad guy that trapped the Gold Ranger for thousands of years in my season that he finally escaped from. So they kind of paired us up with people that we have grudges with, I guess. I don't know. I mean, not all of us do. Some of them, they just had to give someone to fight. But like Gold, Fury, me, Sledge. I don't believe Coda had any particular bad blood with Snide. It was just someone to fight. So on Power Rangers, to save time, we're actually more often than not shooting multiple scenes at the same time at different locations. So while this fight sequence is going on, us as the actors are not there. We're probably somewhere else filming a different scene. No! That's a fun flip to do. It's kind of scary at first. So you do like a backflip, but then if you notice, he put his hands down first to break the fall, and then you almost kind of like do the worm backwards for a second to lay your body down so you don't just fall, flip, and then that would hurt. So it's more like and then hands down and then lay down. But the better you get at it, the more it looks like you're hitting fully. So it's just fun pointing out different stunt moves that I've learned, even if I forget their names. But yeah, I've seen that move done before. I didn't do it in a fight scene, but the person I was doubling, who they were fighting, did that. So it was like a throw, and then they did that twist and then crash.
Who says teamwork is just for Rangers? Shut it, Fred. We need to get those energies.
We're losing. Oh wait, back up.
Rangers,
You messed with the wrong team.
It's super effective.
You guys okay? Here.
Thanks.
Admirable firing, friends.
Keeper, I got you.
Keeper just kind of being a creeper behind one crate, like nobody sees me. It's just funny. Beast Morpher Rangers, their power mirrors what animal they are. So hers, I believe, is a jackrabbit, so she can jump really high. The Red Ranger is a cheetah, so he can run fast. The Blue Ranger is a gorilla, so he's strong.
Here, Keeper.
Thank you.
Quickly, it's this way.
Hurry, let's get to safety while they're down. Come on, move out.
they all got away, and they took Keeper. This is your fault, Snide.
Please tell it to leave us.
There's a lot of teleporting going on. In Dino Charge, we couldn't teleport. It's just a thing that we didn't have the power to do. Or if we did, we never used it.
There. You're free.
Thank you, Zoe.
Our mission, big success. Now, Mammoth Beast.
Sounds fantastic. What's a mammoth?
It's, nothing. We're happy to have you back, Keeper.
I'm glad to be free.
I'd say this is cause for celebration, but it might be too early.
It's true. Your foes are yet to be defeated.
Whatever they're up to, we can handle it. We're a team.
And you very smart, very strong.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Sorry we can't stay longer, but we have to get back to our team. We have our own responsibilities at home.
It's been great to fight alongside you.
Until we meet again, old friend.
Safe travels.
My ladies.
Yeah, I think on the other side, they had like something to jump onto to make it so we traveled up, if I recall correctly. I could be lying to you, but I think that's what happened.
Farewell, friends. Thank you, Rangers. It's been quite an adventure.
I'm so sorry, Keeper.
So as I mentioned in a previous video, Keeper is a mix of practical and special effects with moving the mouth, and I think maybe the eyes too. I know the mouth for sure. The eyes may be digital fully. It's literally been years at this point. I'm sorry, I forget things. But there's a puppeteer off the side with the little thing to squish that blows air and makes the mouth move, and they try to match it to when Keeper talks, but it doesn't move that much, so I still think it's digitally enhanced as well. But it's just kind of cool how that happens. In the next episode, because this crossover is 2 episodes, I got in trouble because I was playing patty cake with Keeper, and the puppeteer is like, "You're gonna mess up the suit," and I was like, "I'm sorry." I actually have it on camera on my phone with me being scolded. So yeah, just, goes through his own portal. Yeah.
So long, Power Rangers.
So Keeper apparently doesn't even need a cool portal thing. He just like disapparated or something. But yeah, so guys, that's it for the review on Finders Keepers, the first episode. But this is a 2-parter, so make sure you click here to watch the next part. All right, so now we're starting part 2 of what I'm in called Grid Connection. So the thing that differentiates this one primarily from the first one we just watched, it now takes place primarily in the Dino Charge universe. We came to the Beast Morpher or the Mighty Morphin universe in that last one. So now they're gonna come to our universe to help us on our side.
Back. Hello, Rangers. I've come to warn you that I've had a vision.
Vision!
A vision of many Power Rangers in a mighty battle.
And what happens to the Power Rangers?
That's a new power. That was never discussed in Dino Charge. He had no visions that I'm aware of. He leveled up, I guess.
They were beaten. Perhaps destroyed.
Were we the Power Rangers you saw?
As you know, there are many Ranger teams across space and time. I cannot know for sure which Rangers were fighting. The vision was not clear. But I saw you, Devin. You were hit by a meteor.
I hate when that happens.
Meteor. From outer space. Are you sure?
Yes, that part of the vision was clear. I do not know when or how these things will come to pass, but I have a strong connection to the Morphin Grid. You must be ready.
The Morphin Grid is some of the lore they added to Power Rangers. It's basically the source of every Power Ranger's power, regardless of the way we tap into it. So Mighty Morphin, Power Coins, us, Energems, them, I don't know what they get like, but some power, something X, some substance that powers their stuff. But different seasons, whatever it is, it's still all connected to the Morphin Grid is what has kind of been established.
Hold on. A battle against Rangers that may or may not be us? And a meteor? With all due respect, Keeper, this vision in the Morphin Grid, it's a little far-fetched.
So, you doubt the existence of the Morphin Grid?
No, I get the grid. We tap into it in the towers, which is how we get Morph-X.
Morph-X! I was right.
These visions and...
Except I didn't say that. I said Substance X.
Sounds sketchy.
Is that Powerpuff Girls?
I don't know. I've studied Ranger history. There's some pretty amazing stories about the grid.
Either way, we need to be prepared.
Hey, I'm always prepared. If there's trouble.
Put it on the main monitor.
Yes, ma'am. Where's the transmission from? Another dimension.
Another dimension? Oh, it's me.
Tyler, what?
So again, they're not looking at anything. That's just a blank screen and someone's reading their lines to them. But I had to record that part with the camera in my face, talking to it as if I was talking to them through it, but I was talking to no one.
We're under attack.
Keeper, your vision is coming true.
There are too many of them. They're after our Energex.
Dinosaur! So in Dino Charge, when we went back in time and beat Sledge in the finale, we stopped the meteor shower from ever happening. So we still have dinosaurs alive in present day in the Dino Charge universe. Fun stuff.
Was that a dinosaur?
Yes, a velociraptor.
They're in the dimension that has dinosaurs.
We have a transportal device. I'm opening a portal for you now.
Battle ready, now.
What about Devin?
No, that's on you later. Let's go, Rangers.
It's morphin' time.
It's kind of weird that the guy who looks like a ranger just morphed into a skinnier ranger. So right now, the Dino Charge universe is under attack by all the bad guys, all the different henchmen, and so the Beast Morphers just opened a portal to jump from their universe into ours, or dimension. And then there's me being thrown. That's, as I mentioned before, sometimes they let us do our own civilian fights, so we actually got to do this fight stuff ourselves. So that's actually me being thrown, not a double jumping and falling on the floor.
Oh no. Come on. Fresh meat.
That's Goldar Maximus, which you learned in the episode I skipped. So he's Goldar, resurrected, but stronger than normal. Goldar is the bad guy from Mighty Morphin, or one of them if you don't remember. Ooh, I got some moves. If you ever wondered about the wardrobe our characters wear, 9 times out of 10, even more than that, it's provided to us. Sometimes actors will have like a specific piece of jewelry that means a lot to them, and they'll ask to incorporate it into their character. But everything I'm wearing is given to me. I mean, actually, the bracelet I'm wearing, so in Dino Charge, my character was given his bracelet by his dad, wears it on his left wrist. They asked if I still had it. No, actually, no, I lied. They didn't ask if I still had it. I just brought it with me, and they made a separate one, which wasn't like as cool looking as the original one I got because they let me keep it from Dino Charge. So I wore my real one, which was from them, but they gave it to me, but then I got to wear it in Beast Morphers versus this mock-up that they made kind of last minute that didn't look as cool. But our Energems, they gave us new Energems for Beast Morphers that are slightly bigger than our Dino Charge Energems. So a couple differences. My character's wardrobe is roughly the same. I mean, it's a red vest, but it's a different red vest than I wore in Dino Charge. Boots are slightly different, but it's all relatively Power Ranger-esque clothing. And then sometimes they let us keep some of the clothes. So yeah. That was wire work, so he got like flown and had to flip a bunch of times in his wires. And now that he's on the floor, so he's demorphing. As I talked about the freeze unfreeze when we morph, we also do it when we demorph. So he's on the floor, they yell freeze. Yoshi, our Blue Ranger Coda, runs in, lays on the floor in the exact same position as he exits frame, and they go unfreeze. So that's how they edit it.
You've always been pathetic.
The Energems are magnetic as well. That's how they're easily taken off of that necklace. And they typically would have to tape them to our chest under our shirts because when we'd run around and do fights, they'd fall off. So yeah, but pretty cool.
Blue Energem!
Not for long! Stop it!
Is that the best you got?
Oh, they demorph too. I thought it was just a Dino Charge thing.
Do you read me?
Jazz, their Blue Ranger, and I both had an audition for Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, the remake that was on Netflix for one of the characters, and we were going out for the same character. Neither of us got it, but we were on set and we were like rehearsing our lines, like basically like as a monologue to each other, and we would just do it together at the same time just to practice. It was just fun. But again, you don't see how many auditions actors go on, and we get maybe like less than 1% of them. Most of the times it's just like, oh, this would be amazing, life-changing, didn't get it. And then sometimes you do get it, like we both booked Power Rangers. But even this, I auditioned for Samurai, I auditioned for the Gold Ranger, didn't get it. I made it really far in the callbacks, but for whatever reason, they didn't hire me. I never even auditioned for Megaforce, and then I ended up getting Dino Charge. So if you're wondering a little bit about that civilian fight scene where we actually got to do some of the fighting ourselves, we get a chance to kind of go over choreography. The stunt team remembered us because it's the same team that we worked with on Dino Charge. So they knew some of our individual abilities. They knew Davi was a martial artist. They know Yoshi and I both have acrobatic backgrounds, that he was a stunt guy and James was a dancer, so he picks up choreography well. So we had some input in what we wanted to do in the fight, and then we would get to do it if we felt safe. They would offer us knee guards and elbow guards if we wanted them. I don't remember if I even put them on or not because it was on grass. It didn't really hurt anyway. So now Devin is going into the morphing grid itself to ask for help, and he sees a power coin, and then we get the original Red Ranger to join the fray, Austin St. John, who plays Jason Scott, or Jason Lee Scott, right?
Jason?
Jason, the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger. I'm Devin.
I know who you are, but why did you call for help?
My team traveled to help some rangers in another dimension. They battled an army of monsters led by Goldar Maximus. I think they're in bad shape.
Goldar Maximus. He must be related to the Goldar that I once fought. I thought Zordon destroyed him years ago.
Whoever it is, they'll meet the same fate, as long as we work together.
Let's show them something they've never seen before. The strength of Grid Battle Force combined with some legendary dino power.
Ooh. In Dino Charge, there was an episode where Shelby learned how to make Megazords, and it has to do with geodes and I think energems or something. And so they learned that, I'm assuming, from Keeper when they had him under the control of that collar. And so they're going to make their own evil version of a Megazord, essentially.
I need this new Zord to crush the Rangers once and for all.
It's almost ready, Master.
Excellent.
And again, Pink and Green haven't demorphed because we didn't have the actors there, so they're still stunt people in the suits.
Guys, what's happening?
They're gonna make a Zord.
What? Like I did once?
We use normal crystals. Using our energems will make it much more powerful.
Oh, I guess we didn't use our energems. We used normal crystals before. Apparently, see, I don't know. Rewatch Dino Charge. Heck, I need to rewatch it.
Why would they use DNA from 6 dinosaurs?
Good question.
Who is it?
Back up.
Aren't you?
I'm Jason.
We don't have time for introductions. Evox is making an evil Zord.
So, I get so much flack for that line at conventions. They're like, Jason, the original Red's back. And then Dino Charge, Tyler's like, we don't have time for introduction, just cuts him off. And I mean, he's not wrong, because if all of them were to introduce each other, there's like a bazillion Rangers in that scene right now. But it was just funny, because it's not like I wrote it. You know, we say what we're told to say. And depending sometimes on shows with how much creative control you get, you're allowed to improvise. Power Rangers was pretty strict on sticking to your dialogue unless you asked during the table read or something. And it wasn't anything any of us really picked up on until hindsight, that it's like, okay, maybe that was a little rude. It could have been said a little bit nicer, like, we'd love to introduce everyone, but we don't have time right now, you know. But lo and behold, Tyler was just feeling the stress, okay? Give him a break.
Need these.
Thanks.
In here. Dino Chargers from our vault. Fully charging Morphex.
So again, we normally can't morph now that our energems have been taken from us because they power our Dino Chargers, but they kind of did a hack by filling our Dino Chargers with power from their Morph X instead of energem power, so we still have the ability to morph in some way.
Spectacular. Devin, you take your team around the back. I'll leave the rest of us on a frontal attack. Old school. I like it.
See, Tyler's not that mean. He's letting the random Red Ranger he's never met lead him into battle, so obviously he respects him on some level. Jason, the Red Ranger from Mighty Morphin, the original Red, has joined the team. He's going to lead us into battle, a really giant battle with a bunch of Power Rangers against the bad guys. Hopefully we win. We'll find out.
We're gonna need to scale that cliff.
So this area is the quarry. It's kind of famous amongst the seasons that filmed in New Zealand. Disney, I believe, is the one that moved Power Rangers to New Zealand to film in the first place when they bought it from Saban. And then when Saban bought it back, he kept it in New Zealand, as did Hasbro. And Hasbro took over during Beast Morphers, or was it second season of Ninja Steel? Something like that. Anyway, this quarry is the area where a bunch of battles happens across a bunch of different seasons. So if you pay attention to the Disney era through Beast Morphers, you'll see this quarry quite a bit. Actually, through Cosmic Fury, because they're in New Zealand too. Funny story / I have the video for it. So this hill that you see behind us right now, we're about to film this big fight scene. Hundreds of sheep just run by in the background, and we're all like making jokes like, the sheep army is here, you know, to help us win. You know, they were just, it's farmland. Like, there's more sheep than people in New Zealand, or there was when I was filming anyway.
The Power Rangers have come to meet their end.
Oh no!
So you're Goldar Maximus, huh? I hope you're a lot tougher than the last one we defeated.
Oh, I am! And I brought an army, too!
An army? That's not an army.
Huh? A power coin?
More portals! So, this is, at the time, all the dinosaur-themed Rangers teaming up. There's now Dino Fury that's been filmed, obviously, and released. But these are all stunt teams. They didn't bring back the actors from Dino Thunder or from Mighty Morphin, aside from Austin St. John. Reasons not in my control, don't even know the full story, but yeah, there you have it. So those are stunt teams as well. There wasn't too much of a difference filming with this many people because in Dino Charge, again, once we got into the later episodes of season 2, we had 10 Rangers already. So even though there's a ton of us, it's really just a lot of us standing there while one of us is saying lines and then the other says lines, and it's kind of the same formula. And then this, the only thing, we were so close together when we morphed. I think Davi, was it Davi or James? We'll see, whoever I'm next. We hit each other a couple times with our morphers, just because we were so close together. But overall, it's just really fun, and it's cool getting to see all the teams come together. Because again, I grew up on Mighty Morphin myself, so getting to work with Mighty Morphin was amazing. So yeah, when Austin St. John flips the power coin up, it's just a digital coin. He's not actually grabbing anything. It's just movie magic.
Now this is an army.
It won't be when we're done, Jason!
It's Morphin time!
That was a flash morph. We didn't do nearly our entire morph, just a little bit of it. It's also funny though, you'll see in a moment the lineup's gonna change in the order because when they flip to the Sentai footage, Kyoryuger, the Super Sentai for my season, is front and center. For whatever reason, Kyoryuger is just one of the most popular Sentais ever, and so they tend to get center stage a lot. And in this, Mighty Morphin obviously is the main one in America for Power Rangers in general, because it's what kickstarted all the Power Rangers. But the Power Ranger, or the Super Sentai of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but that's not the first Super Sentai. Mighty Morphin's the first Power Rangers, but the Sentai isn't the first one. They actually already had multiple seasons before that. So it doesn't hold the same, I guess, candle as Mighty Morphin does for us, because it's what we all started on, and most of us didn't even know what Super Sentai was until way later. But to them, it's like just another season, so interesting, interesting. Japanese footage. Like I said, now they put my person in the center, but before it was Jason because he's the bigger deal for our generation. And again, the background has changed dramatically. There's no hill where all the sheep are running. It's now this mountainous, foresty looking area because we're now in Japanese footage.
Destroy them!
And now we're back to New Zealand footage. And now the background's different. And now it's Japanese. I didn't even know the pink Mighty Morphin Ranger could fly. Does she fly? I don't remember. Anyway, that was all. Quick reminder, now that we're into the fight, we're not there anymore. Like, we did our acting part leading up to the morph. We also filmed the after morph part, which you'll see at the end of the episode, but during the fight, whether they filmed that before or after, I don't even remember, but we weren't present during it. But we do the ADR again, the audio dialogue recording, so you hear us, obviously, in the suits, or you think you do. And I don't even think they, I mean, I could be wrong, but I believe they just used old recordings of their voice from Dino Thunder. I don't think they re-recorded for it. I mean, my Green and Pink Ranger, they did record themselves, obviously, because they had new dialogue. But this was just old dialogue for their attack sequences, I believe. That was just brought in onto the episode.
Snide 2? I better go warn Evox.
This is history in the making, Master. No one has ever used energems to create a sword.
And I'm the genius who did it.
I mean, I did some of the work, but
Finally, a mechanical beast worthy of me. I'll call it the Chimera Sword.
Step away from the Geo.
You fool! It's too late to stop me now! Master Evox, the Rangers have taken out Roxy and Snide. They're winning! Not for long. Time for this sword's final ingredient. My own warrior spirit.
Oh no! He's using Keeper's staff.
Yes, at last.
It was that easy to make Megazords. I feel like we should have made a bunch of Megazords.
Complete.
I mean, we have a bunch, but extra.
While I handle the rest. It'd be my greatest honor.
Oh, really?
That was easy.
I'll never surrender to Rangers! Well done, guys. Good job!
Good job! So he made his own Megazord, the Chimera Zord. Some giant thing, which they're now using special effects versus their practical effects for Megazords. Typically, Megazords are someone in a suit walking around this city, which isn't really a city, you know, it's like a made to scale to make them look like they're big. Obviously, we don't have mech suits at this point in the world, I think, that are giant. Maybe we do, I haven't seen them, other than that one Gundam in Japan, but it doesn't actually walk around that much. But yeah, so this they're using special effects to make it look even bigger, because that thing's supposed to be way bigger than even Megazords. So they mix in some practical, like that was the practical Megazord hitting the ground, so that's someone in a suit, but now we're back to flying around and you'll see us back and forth. Cockpit footage in Dino Charge, so you just saw my team standing there. They reshot that all in New Zealand. In Japan, if I recall, in the Kyoryuger Sentai, I don't know if they're sitting or it's like controls more like Joy-Cons like the Mighty Morphin one is, but they changed it to make it all like when we punch, the Megazord punches, so it's more virtual reality fighting versus controller fighting.
I am untouchable. Stinger Saber Lightning Charge!
Devin, the Zord is ready.
Thanks, Commander. Deploy! Beast X King Zord! In position. Here goes nothing!
Devin, let's join forces!
I was about to say the same thing. Come on! Charge Megazord Beast X King formation!
I always wonder when they make the toys, like the newer toy has to be backwards compatible or something with the older toys, because there's no way, like, do they think about it all beforehand to that level? Maybe they do, I don't know, but they all fit together like Legos.
I've been waiting for this moment.
Let's take him down!
Together as fire!
We all have catchphrases, so he says virus eliminated. My season, it was monster extinct!
Thanks for responding to my call.
No problem. That Evox.
This is the scene I got in trouble for playing patty cake with Keeper. This is also the scene where obviously everyone's still in their suit, are stunt people. I tried to show that Shelby, my Pink Ranger, and Tyler, me, were still in a relationship because they, you know, date at the end of Dino Charge. So I put my arm around the stunt person who's actually a guy in the suit, just to show that we're like together. But they didn't put it into the final clip, so maybe they broke up. Who knows?
He was tough.
I don't think you've seen the last of him.
We can handle Evox. We're taking out that army today. We appreciate all of your help.
We sure do. Including helping us get our energens back.
And my staff.
I miss my hair. It's so luxurious, and it never gets to grow that long anymore.
Rangers forever.
Defending together.
Well, Reefside awaits.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Safe travels. Take care. Awesome working with you.
Today, tomorrow, or decades from now, there will always be Rangers like you to stand up for what is right.
Thanks for teaching me to trust the Morphin Grid. I'll never doubt his power again.
A wise person never stops learning.
Today, I learned a lot.
Hugs.
Home we go.
Bye, guys.
See ya!
See you guys.
Bye. What a day.
This adventure is better than any video game.
So long, friend.
And that's the last you have currently seen of Tyler. Is it the last you'll ever see of Tyler? Nobody knows. Yeah, so that was the crossover. I believe that aired in 2020, but it is now 2024 at the time of this recording, and we don't even know for sure what's happening with the future of Power Rangers. Cosmic Fury was the last season. There's rumors that they're gonna go animated. They're just gonna focus on movies. They're gonna bring it to Canada or America. They stopped filming in New Zealand after Cosmic Fury, so don't know what to tell you, but I am excited for the future of Power Rangers though, so fingers crossed we get to see something soon. Of course, I would always love to return to Power Rangers, but not everything about being a Ranger is rainbows and butterflies. Click this next video to see what it's like to be a Power Ranger.